The world of pop culture never stops, and I'm bringing it. Serious leak, confirmation of an important character in a franchise, beloved by fans, and a controversy over the ethnicity change of an important character in one of the most famous pop culture franchises. So let's go! News number 1, the Gizdama He-Man actor surprises with an incredible Snape, and a Brazilian takes on an important role in the film. News number 2, leaked scenes show He-Man being arrested in the new live-action Masters of the Universe movie. News number 3, Harry Potter series criticized by fans due to the race change of the character Snape from an originally white character to a black actor. Comment below. Which of these news caught your attention the most? And remember, if you're already subscribed to the channel, leave your like, leave your comment. And if it's your first time here, you don't need to do anything, just watch the video. And if you like it, if it adds value to you, if it informs you, then you subscribe to the channel and leave your comment. Without further ado, let's get to the video.
You won't believe it, but I'm here to talk about myself. That's right. My live-action version is finally coming to life, and the cast of Masters of the Universe is taking shape. And before you ask, no, I didn't get skinny. Let's talk about it, and much more, because this story has twists and turns. They said I didn't have the build to be myself. They thought I was going to show up on the big screen, all done in CGI or with a foam suit. But my friends, I hit the gym, and it wasn't just any gym, no. I trained with the guy who played the Mountain in Game of Thrones. If there's a way to gain muscle quickly, it's training with a 2-meter-tall monster. And look, it paid off. If you see my old photos and compare them to now, it's like I'm a different person. I was a skinny young prince, but now I'm in shape. The shape of He-Man, and it looks like the film's production has finally picked up steam. After years of moving from studio to studio, with Netflix buying and selling the rights, it seems that now Amazon MGM is really going to bring this project to life. The cast is coming together nicely. Idris Elba is going to be the mentor. Alison Brie will be the villain. Camila Mendes will be Tila. And I am myself. Now, no CGI and no camera tricks to look buff. And there's more news. Morena Baccarin, an amazing Brazilian actress, has been confirmed as the sorceress. If you've seen Deadpool, you should remember her. In the movie, she will be Tila's biological mother, a detail that's true to the original canon of the franchise. For those who don't know, the sorceress entrusted Tila to the mentor when she was still a baby, ensuring her protection until she could take on a bigger role in the future. But getting back to the topic of my shape, it wasn't easy. Do you think I just wake up with this body? None of that. It's a lot of training, a lot of sweet potatoes, and a lot of focus. Now, don't doubt that in the final phase of filming, I'm going to end up losing a bit of size, because keeping up this pace while shooting a whole movie is complicated. But the plan seems to be to film the more muscular scenes first. So don't worry, I'm going to appear on the big screen as a true warrior of Eternia. Speaking of changes, it seems that the script is going to bring some surprises for the fans. There are rumors that the movie will show my journey on Earth before I become the hero of Eternia. In other words, there will be Adam trying to navigate the real world, dealing with mundane problems, possibly even facing bullying before awakening his true power. This could add more depth to my story and make the audience connect with me even more. Another important point is that, contrary to what some thought, Tila will not be my direct heir, but she will have a fundamental role in the future of Eternia. Just like in the classic cartoon, she might end up taking on the role of sorceress at Castle Grayskull, inheriting the responsibilities from her biological mother. Another interesting thing is that director Travis Knight, known for his work on Bumblebee, is in charge. If there's anyone who knows how to adapt iconic characters from the 80s to modern cinema, it's him. In addition, the production is heavily investing in practical effects, so everything looks as authentic as possible. So nothing of one, He-Man. 100% digital. We're talking about real muscles, epic sets, and a good dose of nostalgia for the old fans. Now, to make sure this blockbuster goes well, I need your support. If you don't like, don't subscribe, and don't comment, Skeletor is going to invade your room at midnight and steal your Wi-Fi. So, let's spread the word and keep an eye on what's coming up. By the honor of Grayskull, see you in the next video. You won't believe it, but I was arrested. He-Man, the defender of Eternia, heir to the throne, was detained right here on Earth. Yes, my friends, a man nearly 2 meters tall, wearing pink and carrying a giant sword, apparently draws attention. Who would have thought? Now, the big question is, how did this happen? And most importantly, how did I get out of this mess? The story begins when my parents, in a fit of desperation, they decided that the best way to protect me was to send me to Earth. Of course, because nothing says safety. How to throw an intergalactic prince into a planet full of taxes and bureaucracy. My disguise, a simple messenger. The plan was to keep me low-key, away from trouble. And honestly, it was working until I found the Sword of Grayskull. What would anyone do upon finding a legendary sword in the middle of their work shift? I, of course, decided to take it. I couldn't ignore it. It was like seeing a chocolate cake and pretending you're not hungry. But it turns out that carrying a medieval sword in the middle of the street isn't exactly legal on Earth. Someone thought I was a lunatic ready to rob a bank, and before I knew it, I was surrounded by police. Now, to make matters worse, while I was trying to convince the police that I wasn't a threat, Skeletor was sending his troops after me. Yes, because my life wasn't complicated enough already. Imagine the scene. Me in the back of the police car and a dimensional portal opening up in the middle of the city. Now, the confusion was complete. The sword in my hands wasn't just any object, it was the key to my true identity. And it seems someone thought it would be fun to put me in a situation that felt like a mix of a superhero movie and a cop show. And it wasn't enough to just be strong. I had to be quick on my feet. Because, it seems, fighting giant villains is easier than dealing with Earth's bureaucracy. And here comes the big reveal. Prince Adam was never a weakling. I don't think it will be the same. In my 80s cartoon, I had the same body, but when I transformed, I got an orange tan. I've always been strong. But back then, I hid that with baggy clothes. Clark Kent can hide his powers with a pair of glasses, but me, I used to wear pink and hoped no one would notice my muscles. The problem is that, on Earth, being a giant wearing pink draws attention. By the way, something curious about the leaked images is that, it seems my arrest happens even before I fully understand my role as He-Man. It seems like I'm still trying to figure out what my true identity is and what this sword really means. This adds an interesting touch to the narrative, as it shows that my journey isn't just about strength, but also about self-discovery. Another important detail is that the setting of Earth in the movie is contemporary, not the 80s, as some rumors suggested. The cars, the police uniforms, and the modern equipment. They make it clear that my story takes place in the present day. This opens up a range of possibilities about how modern humans would react to an intergalactic warrior suddenly appearing out of nowhere with a giant sword. And if you are wondering if the story of the movie will follow this script, crazy. The answer is it seems that yes. Yes, part of the movie takes place on Earth. And yes, it looks like I'm really going to be an office boy. Before I take back my position as the heir of Eternia. Now, the question is whether my forced vacation on Planet Blue will last long, or if I'll have to go back soon to save the day. And now my good threat. If you don't leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and comment on what you thought, I'm going to cross a portal and show up at your house to make you watch all the old episodes of Masters of the Universe on Netflix. And believe me, I know where you live. By Grayskull. Click on the logo.
You won't believe what happened to me. I, Severus Snape, the living embodiment of patience and kindness, if you ask my students, of course, ended up being the subject of one of the biggest collective outbursts on the internet. Yes, me myself. As if I hadn't been humiliated enough my whole life. Now they've decided that my appearance should be completely changed in the new Harry Potter series. It seems that being described as pale, with greasy hair and a prominent nose, doesn't mean anything anymore. Chaos is reigning, and I'm right in the middle of it all. Before I continue, I need to ask a favor. I know, nobody likes people who ask for subscriptions to the channel and likes on the video, but let's be honest, if I don't ask, you'll watch, laugh, and go on with your life as if nothing happened. And I, poor Severus Snape, will be left here, forgotten. Just like my depressing youth at Hogwarts. So please subscribe and give a like, or I solemnly swear that I will teach potions at your house until you beg for it to end. Now, back to the subject. When the news came out that HBO would be doing a Harry Potter reboot, I wasn't that upset. After all, a faithful adaptation of the books could finally do justice to the parts that were ignored in the film. But then the information comes out that I, Severus Snape, will be portrayed by a black actor. The problem is not the actor's color, but the fact that the character's description has been thrown out the window. After all, my appearance was not just an aesthetic detail. My cadaverous appearance, my milk-pale, sour skin, all of this was part of the way I was perceived by others, and the symbolism behind the character. Social media exploded, with many people defending the choice, others outraged, and a good number just wondering if this was the best way to represent diversity. Because, let's face it, doing this to a character like Snape is just asking for extremely problematic historical comparison. I already suffered enough bullying from James Potter, Now what happens? The reboot turns this into something that will spark even more complicated racial debates. You don't have to be a potions genius to see that HBO just created a huge problem for itself. A lot of people who aren't even fans of the saga got involved in the fight. The folks who love to discuss politics and pop culture now have another battlefield. While some say it's a step forward, others question why black characters can't be created from scratch instead of modifying already established one. And in the middle of all this, there I am, a potions professor who just wanted a little peace. But no, they turned me into the center of a historical controversy. And look, I'm not the only one who's bothered. Even Harry Potter content creator, people who never get involved in controversies, decided to speak out. Everyone knows that the author of the saga, J.K. Rowling, has had a troubled relationship with the adaptations and recent controversies. But even she must not believe what's happening. After all, when they announced the series, they talked about being faithful to the original material. It seems that this fidelity was the first thing to disappear. Another point that sparked discussion is how this choice could affect the narrative of the series. Snape has always been seen as an ambiguous character, an anti-hero with a past full of pain and resentment. The transformation of his visual identity can influence the way the audience interprets his relationship, especially his dynamic with James Potter and Lily Evans. Many are wondering if certain iconic scenes will be altered or toned down to avoid problematic interpretations. Moreover, the controversy isn't just about Snape. Many fans fear that this decision will set a precedent for more changes in the cast, moving the series even further away from the author's original vision. The issue goes beyond representation. It's about respecting the work and the established descriptions. After all, if the idea is to tell the story as it was written, why change something so essential? If you think this is an exaggeration, wait until you see the damage that could happen. Many fans who were excited about the series are now threatening to boycott. The truth is that no one is happy, and if the idea was to bring diversity, couldn't they have done it in a less destructive way? I didn't ask to become a symbol of anything. I just wanted to continue my cynical and bitter existence, preferably without any more surprises. Now tell me, what do you think about this? Everything?